Season, we're very excited. As every team in our league is excited at this point. With your new team getting into training camp, we had 5 straight days of camp. I think we got a lot done, and gave the players off yesterday, and then we got a little bit boned by the weather today. So we've been in the weight room. We have a great partnership as well with Revolution Fitness. It's been tremendous partnership, so our players have been getting that in, and we want to keep them healthy, so we'll keep them in the gym and back at work tomorrow. With that, any questions? Be happy to answer them.
It says in here, I guess, how's the quarterback competition going? I mean, that's a big thing.
That's the story. That's the story, and we've got 2 good ones. That's one position. Last year that position was in flux due to injury and some poor play, a little bit of both. For a lot of different reasons this year. I feel like after 5 days with Kurt and Ryan, the competition's been tight. They've both got equal reps. They've handled the competition very well professionally, which is important. Kurt's really come focused this year, focused and determined, and has had a really solid 5 days. And the ball's coming out of his hand on time and going where it's supposed to go. Ryan is a tremendous talent, as people know here. I like working with Ryan. I like his attitude and his willingness to learn. He's learning the trajectory of throws, which is different in our league, which at times can be a little bit of a headache when you first come in the league. But each day Ryan's getting better. You can see the talent. He spins the ball well, comes off his hand well. He's very athletic. All those things will suit him well. But the competition's tight, and they're embracing it. It's going to make our team better. It's going to make our team better. And we're able to pitch and catch better at this point than we were last year, which is encouraging for me. So, it feels better right now than where we were at this point last year.
Can you explain the decision-making process behind bringing Ryan in?
Well, we wanted to, upgrade the position. It really was a no-brainer. I've been tracking Ryan's progress throughout his travels in the UFL, the NFL, and most recently in Canada. And the day that he left Canada, I called him that day and had a good conversation with Ryan, and really, I had the contract within 2 hours, so that showed me his commitment to want to come back home, give this crazy game a shot. I think it was a no-brainer. It's a quarterback-driven league, and we had tough time staying healthy. Kurt had some really freak injuries last year, 3 different injuries, and he's never been hurt in his life before. So I think it was important to get depth there and also compete to see who our starter will be. And I thought it was a no-brainer to bring Ryan in.
Will you keep 2, or I'm assuming you keep 2, but so either one, they're both going to stay no matter what happens?
Yeah, that was the other decision. Is sometimes you bring in 3 quarterbacks. In my experience, every time I've done it, the third guy doesn't get enough reps anyways. And I think they both needed a lot of reps. Especially Ryan being new to the game. So I brought in 2, felt comfortable with that. We're going to ride with those 2. One of them's going to start, one of them's not. And it's an everyday decision and coming up to game day. So the battle continues. We've had 5 hard days of practice, and we'll continue again tomorrow, and that competition will continue.
And for you, obviously, you're an offensive guy. You play quarterback. I guess, how imperative was it for you to come into the season and try to do something with the offense besides just the quarterback position being that was one of the areas of the season you guys struggled with?
Well, we struggled, at the position, and it wasn't just the quarterbacks themselves. It was injuries. It was injuries to our offensive line, the inability at times to protect properly. You win in arena football. People think it's the quarterbacks and receivers and the touchdowns scored, but the games weren't the line of scrimmage. Okay, the games when you protect your quarterback and you get after their quarterback. That's where you win. And I felt like we've had a pretty good pass rush. I think we'll have another good pass rush this year. Last year we had some injuries and some issues at fullback and offensive line. I think that kind of hurt our production level. It made it a little tougher on the quarterbacks. Also, our quarterback play was not perfect, but I know we're capable. 2 years ago we broke tons of records offensively here 2 years ago, so we're capable. We also had injuries at wide receiver, last year right off the bat. We had a couple injuries in camp that slowed us down, and in this league, it's really tough to win, and it's you lose a couple of players, almost like a basketball team. You lose one player, one or two players, affects your team. So health, we have been lucky in the past with health. Last year, not so much. The football gods made it tough on us a little bit as far as the injury bug went. So I think upgrading around the position is important, and I think we've done that. We are a little bit young offensive line, but I think the more I watch them, I think we're going to be okay there. They have to grow up a little bit, but the talent level's there. So it's kind of where we're at with that situation.
Talk about what it means to have Alvin Ray back here after such a success.
Alvin who?
Alvin Ray Jackson.
Alvin was here 2 years ago, and he was one of our team captains, and his first team All-League Jack, and broke a record for interceptions in a season from that position. So Alvin had a tremendous year for us. Anytime a player has an all-arena type season, they become courted. And so, Alvin went to Pittsburgh last year, and we were able to get him back. So it's good to have Alvin back. His leadership, he's really made it. He's been good for Ryan, honestly, because Alvin's a very heady jack linebacker and gets in the way of a lot of throws, and he's given Ryan kind of fits in practice, kind of knocking balls down. And but that's good for Ryan. He's going to learn from that, facing one of the best jacks in the league. So it's good to have Alvin back, solidify that position. 2 years ago we led the league in turnover margin, and last year in the bottom, and Alvin was a part of that. So hopefully we can get back to creating some turnovers, and the added leadership, I think, is positive for our football team.
You brought Skyler back when he was here prior to you. He was a good player. Last time around, now he's committed. How is he now? And how do you have him?
Love to have Skyler. Skyler is just, he doesn't have too many bad days. He's always got a smile on his face. Signed Skyler 2 years ago when I first got here, and he had a job where he had to work at night, and it was really difficult schedule for him. He didn't get a lot of sleep, so he'd come to practice and just be dog tired, and so it affected his, for his first year, affected him a little bit, and changed his schedule around. He and I talked, and so Skyler's back. It's good to have him. It's always good to have LSU guys, local guys. It's important, and not just important to just have them, but talented, LSU and local players. So try to take care of our backyard. That's when I got the job. I always felt like, all right, my first thing was let's take care of our backyard, meaning the state, Louisiana. Make sure we get and exhaust and get all the talent here locally, because it's fertile ground. And Skyler's one of those guys. So he's competing now. He's competing. We're talented, I think, at wide receiver. We've made a few changes, and they're all picking it up well. So Skyler's a part of that competition level going on with the receivers too, and they're fun to work with. Our quarterbacks, receivers, they're fun to work with, and they're competing, and the ball's not on the ground a lot. It's good to see the first 5 days.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you guys. Thank you for coming out on this cold day, guys. All right.